tourist town of Cancun, Mexico. A lifelong dream becomes a frightening reality. A 61-year-old woman from Kansas is swimming with dolphins in the safety of an aquarium when one of the animals abruptly goes wild and unleashes a dangerous attack. Why is this happening? What would make a dolphin attack a human being? Solving this mystery requires a team of marine scientists and behavioral experts in Mexico and in the United States. These seasoned detectives will probe the mysteries of dolphin behavior and uncover a series of chilling assaults in captivity and in the wild. What they find will shed light on the true nature of an animal we only think we know. They will reveal who is the hunter and who is the hunted. Few destinations attract more visitors than Cancun, Mexico. This small barrier island on the Caribbean Sea offers tropical weather, 14 miles of beach, and countless tourist attractions. One of the most popular is swimming with dolphins. Dolphins are widely considered one of the smartest animals on Earth, and people go to great lengths to swim with them. In Mexico, thousands of people swim with dolphins every year. Billie Finley and her sister Debbie Collingsworth are on vacation from their nursing jobs in America's heartland. They've come to Cancun for one reason. Debbie Collingsworth.
That was one of our dreams, was to swim with the dolphins. I just thought it would be just wonderful to be able to be in the water with these animals and touch them.
Like many, Debbie thought dolphins were different than other wild animals.
Yeah, I thought they were like flippers. I thought they were very gentle, you know, something like a large dog or something. I didn't realize they were going to be so big.
You guys ready for a dolphin experience?
Yeah!
If the dolphin comes to you.
Trainers give a brief orientation and instruct a small group of tourists to enter the pool with 6 adult dolphins.
Then they just told us to swim out into the water. We were supposed to be real calm with them, and that they would come up to us if they wanted to.
4 trainers shout instructions from the sidelines, while the tourists swim with the 500-pound animals.
And we got to touch the animals, and you know, just floated out there in the water. Then they started taking pictures of us, and the first picture is the dolphin would come up and act like he was kissing you. And then after that, they would stand up in the water, and I got to take hold of the fins.
The encounter is everything Debbie and her sister have imagined.
We were having a wonderful time. It was a big high.
But in an instant, everything changes.
Get out of the pool, come on, get out of the pool!
Trainers yell for the guests to clear the pool. But before everyone can react, the pool erupts into chaos.
It was a matter of seconds. Just sheer pleasure to we were scared to death. It was just seconds.
One of the dolphins charges Billy and grabs her from below. Debbie watches helplessly as her sister is dragged across the pool.
Everything kind of went crazy then, and Billy just whizzed by me.
The 150-pound woman is in the jaws of an animal nearly 4 times her weight, struggling to free herself. How could this be happening? There are predators in this world that do not fear us. And under certain circumstances, they will attack and even kill humans. Most people would never think of coming face to face with these wild, untamed creatures. And they will do almost anything to avoid a close encounter. But few think of dolphins as violent or aggressive. And we find it hard to believe this smiling face would ever strike out against a human. Their gentle, friendly persona makes them one of our favorite animals. And inspires our trust. Thousands of people interact with dolphins every year. We let our children swim with them and believe they can rehabilitate the handicapped. Their unique intelligence continues to surprise and amaze us. Even the U.S. Navy employs dolphins in specialized covert operations. So why is this trusted, intelligent animal attacking Billy Finley in the apparent safety of an aquarium? Across the Gulf of Mexico, a frightening incident involving a wild dolphin bears a striking resemblance to the attack on Billy Finley. On the intercoastal waterway near Sarasota, Florida, Kim Foy, her husband Ned, and their children venture out on their boat. Ned Foy.
There's just 1,000 things to do down here on the water, especially if you have a boat. You can picnic, you can ski around the island.
The weather is perfect, and the family enjoys the hot Florida sun. To their surprise, a dolphin approaches their boat. Mesmerized by the dolphin's smile, they decide to feed the animal.
The dolphin was out there. So my husband said, well, let's go over to the bait store right there and buy some sardines and give it to the dolphin.
Kim then gets into the water. Ned Foy videotapes the event. This is the actual home video footage.
I mean, it was great. I got in the water with the dolphin. He came up to me. I took all 5 of my kids in the water. They all petted the dolphin. The dolphin stayed with us. There was no problem.
Kim and her children play with the animal, feeding him sardines by hand. But as the children return to the boat, the dolphin grabs Kim Foy.
something grabbed me on the right side of my bottom, a set of jaws, and pulled me under. And as I went under, I couldn't get out of his mouth, and I yelled, "I'm being attacked."
Ned drops his camera and tries to help, but he cannot reach his wife.
My last recollection was my wife's face under the water. Her mouth is wide open, and she's going down.
Teeth tear at Kim's flesh, but she is a strong swimmer and fights to the surface for air. She catches her breath, only to be seized again.
I got grabbed again by my right thigh, and he pulled me under, and he kept taking me under.
Two unexpected attacks, both from an animal most people think of as peaceful and friendly. But this gentle persona often shrouds the fact that dolphins are large, powerful animals. Growing up to 13 feet and 1,100 pounds, bottlenose dolphins are consummate predators with an arsenal of hunting strategies. Propelling through the water at speeds of over 20 miles an hour, their hydrodynamic shape makes them half-ton torpedoes. Even some sharks are said to avoid dolphins, wary of their ability to ram opponents with their muscular, bottle-shaped snout. Dolphins are highly evolved animals with remarkable speed, strength, and cunning intellect. If Billy Finley does not get out of the dolphin's grasp, she could be in serious trouble. The animal drags Billy across the pool as her sister Debbie watches helplessly.
They just grabbed her leg, and the next thing I knew, she was thrown against the wall of the pool.
The dolphin slams Billy against the concrete wall, while the rest of the tourists struggle frantically to the pool's edge. The dolphins swim wildly around the aquarium.
The dolphins were just swimming back and forth and just making all kinds of racket, and the water was really churning.
Something has provoked these dolphins into a frenzy and caused one of them to attack. 4,000 miles away, on a beach in the southern Atlantic, another incident provides a clue and a possible lead to the case in Cancun. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Two men relax by the ocean when a dolphin swims towards the beach. Excited about how close the animal comes to shore, João Moreda and Wilson Pedroso wade into the water and approach the dolphin. The animal floats on the surface and allows the men to touch it. The dolphin rams both men, hitting João hard in the stomach. It takes only seconds, but the results are lethal. João will die of internal injuries later that night. The man has been killed by a seemingly friendly wild dolphin just a few feet from shore. But why did this animal suddenly turn violent?
When dolphins attack people, it's not because they have something out for people. And it's not because they're hungry, because they don't eat humans. They have not evolved.
Dr. Tony Frohoff is an expert on human-dolphin interaction.
Understand readily. People put themselves in a position in which they stress dolphins out.
And one could expect that an animal like that might be more likely to strike back if it's tormented.
So you've got a ratio.
Professor Greg Erickson is a biologist at Florida State University.
And so dolphins sometimes have no recourse except to exhibit their displeasure through violent or forceful behavior.
In Brazil, investigators learned that João Moreira and his friend are not innocent victims. They have been drinking heavily. They hit the animal and attempt to ride it. They pour beer and shove popsicle sticks down its blowhole, obstructing the dolphin's breathing. The dolphin responds to aggression with aggression. But this was not the case in Cancun.
We weren't supposed to hit him or anything like that. I really don't think anybody was. I think we were all having such a good time that, you know, there was no need for it. I'm sure Billy didn't do anything at all.
Billy Finley is swimming to the side of the pool when the dolphin grabs her leg and slams her against the wall of the aquarium. If the dolphin continues this assault, Billy could drown. When Kim Foy is bitten on the leg in Florida, she is dragged underwater. A dolphin can stay underwater for more than 10 minutes on a single breath. Most humans, barely one. Running on adrenaline, Kim's husband, Ned, an off-duty police officer, jumps into action.
I throw the camera down, and I jumped right over where I last saw the dolphin, and I felt my foot hit something hard, so I believe I landed on his snout.
Ned lands on the dolphin's head. Only then does the animal release Kim.
Oh, I thought I was gonna die. I really did. I feel like if I didn't have the diving experience that I had, I think the dolphin probably would have drowned me. I really do. I think he would have just kept me under there, but I fought for my life.
Ned rescues Kim from the water, beaten and bloody, in need of urgent medical attention.
I had a ripping injury on the whole side of my hip and buttocks that required a lot of sutures.
But her wounds were only part of her trauma.
And then the other thing were the nightmares, closing my eyes and reliving the whole thing all over again. The feeling of the dolphin biting into me again.
Kim receives more than 50 stitches and a deep psychological scar. But she is still alive. She will never swim with dolphins again.
I would never do it again. I would never go out in the water. I would never swim with a wild animal again.
Kim Foy's attack happened near a bridge in the Intercoastal Waterway, a heavily populated area with constant boat traffic. Locals here know something visitors do not. There's a problem dolphin living in these waters. The dolphin that nearly drowned Kim Foy is an adult male, infamous for approaching boats and begging for food. He is known locally as Beggar, and he has bitten a number of people in recent years. But why does Beggar bite? Kim Foy recalls an important clue about her incident in Florida.
There was a boat that was across from us with two young guys. And apparently these guys didn't have any sardines, but what they kept doing was tapping their boat and calling them over. And when the dolphin would get there, they would tease the dolphin.
Kim's family and the neighboring boat compete for Beggar's attention by banging on the side of their boat. He swims back and forth between the boats, but every time he approaches the men, instead of being fed, they slap him. It's possible that this teasing may have prompted the otherwise peaceful creature to attack. Greg Erickson enlists the help of dolphin expert Billy Hurley.
It just seems like a commonality in all, human-animal interactions. It's when people start feeding wild animals, bad things happen.
Billy Hurley is the general manager and director of animal management at the Dolphin Conservation Center at Marineland, and a member of the Alliance of Marine Mammal Parks and Aquariums, an organization that sets the standard for marine mammal care in North America.
Teasing a dolphin into feeling they have to lunge for their food is not a good practice to get into. In the wild, the biggest problem is just that these animals are learning to eat food from people, period, because nothing good can really come out of that.
Dolphins seem friendly, but they are still wild. And it's illegal to swim with or feed wild dolphins under the Marine Mammal Protection Act. But in Cancun, Billy Finley's attack takes place in captivity, not in the wild. Did this dolphin turn on Billy because it wanted food? Many display facilities take rigorous precautions to ensure that patrons can't feed the dolphins. But not all maintain these standards. In some for-profit, unregulated petting pools, people are given almost complete freedom to pet and feed the dolphins on display. Footage provided by the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Society shows that without supervision, people feed the dolphins inappropriate human junk food. Free feeding like this leads to health problems. Severe obesity can be a serious concern in captivity. And obesity is just one of many problems common in substandard facilities. And it gets worse. Some people feed the dolphins dangerous things: cigarettes, sunglasses, styrofoam cups. People can also face safety risks. Bites and other injuries are common. But this was not the case in Cancun. According to Debbie, the aquarium in Cancun does not use food during their public interactions, and none of the guests have any of their own.
All they did was use their whistles, and they blew their whistles a lot. There was no food at all.
But something did provoke the dolphin to attack. Debbie Collingsworth reveals another clue. Moments before Billy is attacked, trainers tried desperately to evacuate the pool.
The trainers were saying, "Get out, get out, get out. Get out of the water before she got hit."
Something they see in the dolphin's behavior warns them there's a serious problem in the tank. While trainers urgently yell for the guests to clear the pool, 6 adult dolphins swim wildly around the aquarium.
Get out of the pool, come on, get out of the pool.
We were having a wonderful time, and they started to tell us to get out. We didn't know if we'd done something wrong, and it was very, very frightening. It was just chaos.
The tourists flee for safety, but Billy Finley is not a strong swimmer. The dolphin bites the 61-year-old nurse and drags her through the water. But what do the trainers see in the dolphin's behavior that warns them something is about to happen?
Get out of the pool, come on, get out of the pool. Right here, come on, get out of the pool.
Dolphins are highly social, intelligent creatures, and they use complex body language. It's believed that blowing bubbles is a sign of pleasure or play. Jaw claps indicate irritation and are a sign of possible aggression. This body language can also get physical. Dolphins are known to ram one another or rake each other with as many as 80 sharp teeth during social interactions. According to Debbie, the trainers in Cancun evacuate the pool because they recognize a sign of aggressive behavior.
The one dolphin was making the rest of the dolphins kind of nuts. It just kept circling and circling and circling me, and I thought, this is kind of, this is a little scary. The more she acted up, the rest of them were really getting crazy too, and they just went nuts.
One dolphin ignites the others into a frenzy, and the situation turns violent. Dolphins are exceptionally social mammals, and much like in human societies, relationships in a pod can be complicated. Individuals have strong personal bonds, but there is also a darker side. Dolphins can develop deep-seated rivalries that can lead to serious conflict. But if the aggressive behavior of the dolphins in Cancun is the result of social conflict, then why is this violence being turned towards Billy? In Hawaii, the tale of a young researcher suggests that dolphins sometimes see us differently than we might expect. Oahu, Hawaii. Naomi Rose is a college student working on a research project, studying dolphins' remarkable use of language.
Listen, Nana.
Let me try.
Dolphins have a complex repertoire of whistles and clicks used to communicate with other dolphins in the pod.
The fact is that dolphins obviously are very intelligent, and they clearly have some kind of language about which we know very little. But this was teaching them an artificial language to try to see whether they could understand certain basic language concepts.
And on occasion, volunteers are allowed to swim with the dolphins.
One of the fringe benefits was that we were allowed to get into the water and swim with the dolphins. I was thrilled by the idea of doing this.
It's Naomi's first time swimming with these animals. She climbs into a tank with 2 dolphins, and the animals immediately react.
When I got into the water, one of them rammed me with her snout. And I just had all the wind knocked out of me. So I just doubled over, and then the other one sort of just swung, and her tail just took my mask off. And so I couldn't see, snorkel had been knocked out of my mouth. I couldn't breathe. I was panicking, and I had no idea what had happened. I mean, it was just all a bunch of gray tails and flippers, and I was, coughing and couldn't breathe.
Her co-workers wrestle her from the pool, breathless, terrified, and utterly shaken. Researchers have worked with these animals for years. But when Naomi gets in the water, she is immediately attacked. As an expert in marine mammal behavior, Naomi has a theory about her incident.
These dolphins were, in fact, encouraged to sort of see us as just other social members of their group. So they treated me like they would have a dolphin. But for a 120-pound person to be put in their place by a 450 to 500-pound dolphin is no small thing.
When Naomi gets in the tank, they treat her like another dolphin.
What they'd done wouldn't have done diddly squat to a dolphin, but to me, I'm doubled over, I'm gasping for breath, I'm almost drowning.
If the dolphins mean to kill Naomi, they could. But what happens next points to something different.
They just swam to the other side of the tank and did nothing. And the only way I can explain it was I looked kind of ashamed. I really do think they were surprised and shocked.
It seems they don't want to hurt Naomi. And when they realize she's in pain, they end their assault. But with the jaws of a dolphin locked around Billy's leg, the scene in Cancun is different. Billy Finley's attack is not an accident. Seconds feel like hours as Billy Finley fights for her life. When the dolphin finally releases her, trainers rush to her aid. They wrestle her from the pool, dazed, bruised, and bleeding.
When I saw Billy over there and they were pulling her out and I could see the blood on her foot, I was very frightened. I didn't know if she had like half her foot gone or what.
You all right?
But did the trainers really ever have control? Dolphin swims typically come in two distinct forms. Some places run highly choreographed, controlled swims, where people pet and kiss the dolphins, while a trainer is usually in the water. The animals in these programs have a predictable routine, and each time they do something right, they are rewarded with food and praise. But amateur video shows that some facilities offer a different kind of dolphin experience. A much closer encounter. An unchaperoned swim with multiple 500-pound animals. In this kind of free swim, trainers are seldom in the water, and the dolphins do not have a routine. They are free to do whatever they want, and anything can happen.
There are a lot of facilities that allow these free interactions, and those are dangerous. Controlled swims are safer. That's just a fact. Fewer accidents, fewer injuries occur when the swims are controlled. The dolphins know what's happening. They don't have to guess.
According to Debbie Collingsworth, the aquarium in Cancun offered a free swim with the dolphins.
We all swam in a circle, and the dolphins would just swim around us. And we did that for quite a while, touching probably 10 minutes or better.
No trainers are in the water when the dolphin attacks.
And the trainers, I don't really think they knew what to do. They were just blowing their whistles, and the animals were really acting up.
Dolphins' obvious intelligence and charming behavior overshadow the fact that they are still wild animals. They are not domesticated. But attacks like this one are still very rare. And when they do occur, there is often a reasonable explanation. Turning to the largest of the dolphins, the killer whale, we find that sometimes the motive for an attack can be traced to a basic wild instinct. Orcas are among the smartest and deadliest animals in the ocean. This enormous size and uncanny intellect makes them unstoppable hunters. Complete with the gruesome habit of playing with their prey before they kill. But this size and intellect also make them a popular attraction. Aquariums have been using trained killer whales in public shows for decades. But like most dolphins, orcas are complex social animals with a mind of their own.
Last week, a trainer at SeaWorld in San Antonio, Texas, had a very scary encounter with a killer whale named Kai.
During a routine public show, a killer whale breaches onto its trainer numerous times in front of a stunned audience. The giant dolphin has been in the aquarium for 10 years and has no history of violence. So why did this animal suddenly become aggressive? The aquarium attributed the attack to a surprising motive. One of life's most basic functions, a biological need for sex. The orca was a young male approaching breeding age and filled with new hormones. Living in captivity, this animal could not release its sexual frustration, and it became aggressive. Sexual activity is an important part of dolphin society, and courting and mating can often be violent. Male dolphins form alliances to rein in elusive females. And sexual overtures are not always limited to other dolphins.
My guess is there's sexual behavior going on, and it's not uncommon for dolphins to exhibit sexual behavior towards humans.
Turning to amateur video footage compiled by the NOAA Fishery Service, it's clear that dolphins do behave sexually towards people.
You typically have sexual behavior coupled with aggressive behavior, which dolphin to dolphin can be okay, but clearly neither appropriate or safe for humans.
People are probably completely oblivious that this is what can happen and often happens in these sorts of situations.
They're usually oblivious until one of the dolphins either gets too rough or gets an erection, and then people are typically surprised. However, many of the facilities will still allow dolphins to behave sexually towards people, regardless of how inappropriate, scary, or dangerous it might be for the swimmers.
But in Cancun, the dolphin that attacked Billy Finley is not an aroused male.
When we got out of the water, they actually admitted that one of the dolphins was in heat, and that was the problem.
Billy is told her attacker is a female in estrus, a period of sexual fertility. But that does not rule out a sexual motivation. Female dolphins can also be aggressive. Billy could have been the victim of a competitive or sexually frustrated female. But further examination of the evidence suggests something different. Something more than hormones was at work in the aquarium that day. When a group of tourists climb into the water with 6 adult dolphins, things take an unexpected turn. Billy Finley is bitten on the foot, dragged through the water, and rammed against a concrete wall. The dolphin then turns and bites a young boy. But why this dolphin turned violent is still not clear. In the rare instances when dolphins injure people, it happens for different reasons. They may act out of self-defense, because of feeding, even driven by sexual impulses. But in Cancun, Debbie remembers a physical sign that provides a clue to her sister's attack.
One dolphin had the big lacerations all over her, the rest of them did not.
One of the 6 dolphins in the pool was covered in scratches. The same dolphin that would attack Billy Finley. Scratches are a natural result of dolphin courtship and sexual behavior. But the scratches the sisters see on the dolphin are different.
The lacerations look like a bunch of knife marks that were really, really close together. Like if you look at a claw, it would just be like claw marks all over, and they were very deep, and you could actually see the fat of the animal underneath.
The scratches Debbie sees on the dolphin are very deep, down to the blubber. Wounds this deep are not usually signs of courtship. They suggest something else, a struggle for power. Dolphin society is built upon a strict social hierarchy, and quite often, it can get physical. Fights can frequently break out over social order, over a mate, and often for reasons we don't understand. And sometimes, these conflicts can be deadly. Footage from scientists in Scotland reveals Atlantic bottlenose dolphins engaged in a mysterious killing spree, killing dozens of smaller porpoises with ruthless efficiency. Scratches like these are the result of violent social interactions. It's possible the animal that attacked Billy has been bitten and battered by those higher in the pecking order. When the dolphin's frustration finally overwhelms her, she turns on the only inferior animal in the pool, humans. When the trainers call for everyone to evacuate, Billy struggles to reach the wall. Compared to a full-grown dolphin, she is small and weak, a perfect target for a reprisal. Fortunately, she survives her ordeal. But what may have perished for Billy, as well as for Kim Foy, is an idea born as much from myth as reality.
They're not the quote-unquote flipper that I used to watch on TV that would swim with the kids and play with the, no. To me, a dolphin is a wild animal, and a wild animal will attack just like a bear does.
Billy Finley does not blame the dolphins for her attack.
It was not their fault, it was ours. It was the trainer's fault. It should never have happened. The dolphin was in an unnatural habitat, and we were in the way. The dolphins, they're still wonderful. They're still wonderful.
When we swim with dolphins, we are visitors in their world. The outcome is our responsibility. Dolphins are thinking, reasoning mammals with brains roughly the size of our own. This uncanny intelligence makes us feel a special connection with dolphins. But they are still wild animals. When we choose to enter the water and put our trust in the dolphin smile, we may cross the line separating myth from nature and hunter from hunted.